Tell us a little bit about the financing in those situations, like how you approached it, what type of, even in cash deals, like, it
Mhm.
probably wasn't just a handshake deal. Like, how do you structure those? How do you approach people and partners? Because there's a lot of people here that would like to partner. What
Yeah.
advice would you have on doing that? Because you've done several now.
Yeah, I would recommend that you partner up with somebody that's bringing something else, like some other skill, right? Because if you go like if you know how to build homes and you partner up with somebody else that knows how to build homes, but then you don't have the cash, then that partnership is not going to go anywhere. But if you partner up with somebody that has a skill that you may not have or have the cash, then that's going to be something that will be a win-win for the two of you or the three of you, right? Whoever's in that LLC or corporation, whatever. So that's number one. Find out what skill the other party's bringing in that you don't have. Number two is to put it in a way that you're creating your own LLC and have all the funds go through the LLC, because you don't want somebody to have the funds going to his bank account and then later be asking him, hey man, you need to pay me for this month, and then so you want to make sure that you structure everything the right way. One of the things that usually happens when you're buying a home with a loan is that the banks are going to lend you on your name, but you can still fund all the funds, the rent money, and pay the mortgage and everything through the LLC's bank account. So keep that in mind, because I've had a bunch of investors that come and say, Diego, we want to buy a home in Austin, but we want to buy it through our LLC, and the no bank is going to lend you for your first property through an LLC without putting a lot of money down, and
Hmm.
it's like amortized at a higher rate, and
Hmm.
sometimes it comes with like a 7-year arm. I don't know what all of that means. I'm like, dude, just get a conventional loan in your name and have the funds go through that. Later you can pay an attorney to basically change the title of the property from your name to the to your LLC,
Hmm.
um, but that will come afterwards. So creating your LLC and making sure, I always recommend people that they talk about what is the strategy going in and what is the exit strategy for that one property, or maybe the multiple properties and even the partnership, because you want to know, because everybody's happy and excited when they come into the partnership, but then when something goes wrong at the end, they're not happy anymore. They're going to bring other stuff, right?
That's an important note, because I think, another thing to add to it is clarifying who's going to make the difficult decisions when those arise.
Yeah,
In different, when you're partnering, usually you have different strengths and weaknesses, and just clarifying, who is going to make the calls when those, difficult situations arise, and this situation versus that situation. Because I went through a partnership, I had a great experience. We just clearly defined who was going to make decisions based on what came up. I took my strengths, and I made those decisions, and my partner, made decisions in his strengths, and we just clearly defined it. And a lot of partnerships that I see that fail are the ones that they don't clearly define who's going to make those decisions. And then when, tough situations come up, they both go in different directions and they end up hating each other at the end. So clearly defining, like you're
exactly.
talking about.
Exactly. Yeah, and that happened once to me, and because of the numbers and stuff like that, I ended up not getting $1,800 after we sold the home, but I took that as a lesson, and I'm like, okay, that lesson cost me $1,800. I will not do that again.